itself is okay. What we're talking about is the facer board, soffits, and siding on the outside. Once they do that, it will be waterproof. It'll be- Now, the question, what's in that quote, is when they tear into it, is it going to require more than what the quote is? And at that time, they just stop and say, look, we're gonna have to do this, this, and this, and it's gonna cost this much. That's where we would be with that. But once they do that, then it'll be waterproof.
Yeah, but I mean, once we uncover it, we don't have much choice other than to pursue the additional
Oh, yeah.
waterproofing.
You're committed once you take that siding off.
It's almost off anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
In multiple locations at least.
Yeah. And I don't have a big issue one way or another. I would just like for us to maybe take a couple of weeks and better educate ourselves on the scenario and see, assume worst case, if nothing else, that we're going to have to go in and replace some rafters and do some stuff. And then we make this decision based on the fact that we're actually going to repurpose that building. Because right now it's one of the 5 or 6 buildings out there that we've talked about for years of, possibly eliminating with the exception of the garages on the end of it. Because it's had electrical issues, we didn't want to actually house people in it. But if we had an 8 to 5 operation where we're not housing people, I would be less concerned about the electricity. And I think we say the plumbing's probably okay. So, I think we want to look at that and see if we don't want to actually, because it has a kitchen and stuff of that nature in it, look and see if we can transition 4-H out of the old jail into that building and if it will accommodate them. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely worth, pausing and looking at some things before we spend $15,000 to $20,000 on something that we're gonna.
And 2 weeks is not going to make us or break us one way or another.
No.
Can you help us out? I mean, really what we're doing is assessment on the building. Do we want to spend money and go ahead and repurpose it? Or, do we need to continue down the lines of maybe that's a building that we want to get out of at some point?
So I guess the problem is to figure out what's behind, if they're rotting wood behind the siding, you're gonna have to take it off to see what's back there. I don't anticipate any rafter issues. If there is any, it's going to be the studs and maybe the bottom plate. Down at the bottom, could be some rotting down at the bottom of some framing lumber.
Your contractor, there's a pretty sharp individual. If he or some of his counsel can give us an assessment.
I'll get him to come down there and look at it. We'll see if we can determine if there is going to be substantial. There may be a board or two here and there, and that's not going to be a big issue, but if there's something major.
Is it worth renovating?
That's the big question.
Is it worth renovating, and at what expense? And I realize that's going to be a guess, but we would be more educated, I think, than we are today. And like I said, it's $20,000, but $20,000 is $20,000.
Right.
And I don't want to get into the access control thing too much without going to executive, because I know why we're there. Okay, I know why we're considering.
Right.
If you're okay with that, Adam. I'm not.
So my just preliminary estimate thoughts are, if you're going to long-term occupy that building, the electrical needs to be addressed. At least look at it, have it inspected, and possibly put some new breaker panels, that sort of thing. And that plumbing, I wouldn't worry about the plumbing. Plumbing's okay. We don't have any problems with plumbing.
And based on those comments, if we can get somebody out here in the next couple of weeks to give us some kind of assessment on that, because, you know, we talk about outside infrastructure, and okay, that's gonna cost us $20,000. Well, we need to know if we're actually gonna pursue and use that building, and the electrical's an issue. Let's find out what we're talking about, because
Yeah, I can do that.
anybody have a problem if I motion to table 11 and 12?
Need a second on that?
Adam, I think you might be the point of contact on that. You good with it?
I mean, yeah, I don't mind tabling it, but it's, I mean, if we put that in there regardless, whoever we put in there can still have keys to get in it. If we put adult probation in it, they're gonna want that thing locked too. I mean, it's something that's gonna have to happen eventually, but, I mean, I don't mind tabling it for another 2 weeks or till the next court.
Yeah.
And if we put adult in there, we could look at moving that keypad out to that, not the perimeter door, but the outer glass door.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with this.
And see, but I think, we're talking about two different doors in that scenario.
No,
He's
we're
talking
the
about,
second door.
okay, you got the entry door, you got the second door, and then you got the entry into the actual admin area. 3 doors.
No,
Yeah, you got the perimeter of the building, and you go about 4 foot,
3
and there's,
doors. I'm talking about the interior one.
The one by the desk.
Yep.
Yeah.
okay, that's third door, by
Yes.
my way of thinking, that's the third door.
Well, I've never been really put in jail, so I don't know.
I've been in there a time or two, but the
If you
one
put
that
in
actually,
jail, you come in another door.
Yeah.
yeah. And right now, if you put it at the second door, you've got a considerable number of clerks and county folks that are going down there to gather records and stuff,
Right.
so you lock them out.
Well,
Right.
I'm talking about, I guess, the third door.
And see, to me, that's a wooden door.
The actual office. It's
Yeah.
not now.
No,
It's not wooden?
It's
Okay.
metal. That's the one I'm talking about, that goes directly into that
Yes.
office.
But if we,
That's where it was before.
and if, we're getting kind of in the woods, but even if we put adult probation down there, you're probably going to go to a lock at the very outside door, because they would then occupy the whole building, or the whole admin, where emergency management's set, and veterans affairs. You know, we talked about moving those guys into the commissioner's office 3, 4, 5 years ago. So if adult probation were to take that building, then they'd probably lock it at the front door, the perimeter door.
How about the old Sallyport door that led inside there? What kind of safeguard is there from outside traffic entering from the back part of the,
Those doors are locked.
You got to keep,
Jail grade doors that are locked.
okay,
You can't get from the side port into the office.
okay. So, that's not a problem then as far as that goes.
No, that's more secure than anything else we have.
Okay, speaking from someone who has been in that jail there many, many, many times,
I would clarify that statement. if I was you.
it is what it is. I used to do magistrations back there all the time.
yeah.
When you used to, you had to buzz people in. From what became of that system there?
It's still there.
It's still there,
Still
but
there.
that doesn't affect the office area that we're talking.
You have to buzz them in from the jail side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You probably remember that, you know, all the electronics and control panels, you got to get in where 4H is, and then take a left and go in that door to
Yeah.
get into what used to be the old dispatch, and
Yeah,
so, yeah, but that door is locked
okay.
prior to going into that.
See, it's
Old
been many
dispatch.
years since
Yeah.
I've been there, but,
those doors are all still locked.
okay.
So I would make a motion that we table 10 and 11. I'm sorry, 11 and 12.
Second.
11 and 12.
Yes, please.
Okay, the motion is, Commissioner Hollowell, that we table items 11 and 12, and we have a second from Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Items 11 and 12 are tabled. And thank you, Rick.
And you'll work on that for us? You'll reach out to your contractor and get us an electrical guy and see if you can give us some information, please? Okay, thank you.
When do we want this to come back?
I think we can probably bring it back in 2 weeks and we'll have enough, well, if that gives you time, we ought to be able to make a better decision.
All right,
I can leave report on what.
Yeah.
yeah. So potentially get with Chelsea sometime.
So
and,
if you
bring that
table it,
back.
it has to come back exactly like this in 2
Okay,
weeks.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah,
Is that okay?
let's take no action. Can we change that motion, to take
Item
no action?
number- Yeah, we'll change that from tabling to no action on 11 and 12.
Yeah,
That way, if y'all want to change
Yeah,
what it
good.
says.
good catch. Yeah, thank you.
Good point, Chelsea. Item number 13,
Yeah.
deliberate and consider possible action regarding the election ballot for the Texas Association of Counties Health and Employee Benefits Pool Board of Directors and authorize the county judge to sign the election ballot. I saw Elizabeth lurking around here somewhere. Don't know anything about it?
It looks like tax forwarded us a letter that says there's one recommendation. And there's not a whole lot of options. Unless you guys want to nominate somebody else, I would make the motion that we allow you to ratify the signature, or I'm sorry, that we ratify your signature on the special election ballot.
Okay, we have a motion to ratify my signature on the special election ballot. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item number 13 passes 5-0.
Do you want to write, do you want for or against?
Oh, I think that, because it's the only candidate. You TAC guys want to weigh in on
Even if
this?
you write against, yeah. there's
Michelle,
nothing
you
can
want to
do.
weigh in on this board stuff? It appears to
only
be
one person, yeah.
that we have one candidate. This is forwarded to us by TAC. It is for or against. Again, thank you. Good note.
Makes sense.
Do we have any objections to the candidate? We don't know. So,
It's a judge out of Orange County.
yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
not
think
from
it would
Orange County,
be a
California.
four in favor of.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
There's
So
only one.
do I need to revise that motion to say that we ratify the judge's signature in favor of candidate Judge, excuse me, Gotha? Thank you. Yeah, I modify that motion. We ratify your signature with thus reflecting that we are in favor of or for the nominee. That-
Pam, did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys for being here, by the way.
They're over there hiding right now.
I know. Elizabeth claimed no knowledge of any of it, so,
They're down here a little farther.
yeah, okay. Well, just a little precursor here. Item number 14, deliberate and consider possible action regarding a resolution calling for an enhanced regulation of data centers in the state of Texas. And I'm going to let you guys carry on with this one right here, if you would.
There's been several counties that sent this to the state and to their representatives, and I think we need to be on board and the rest of the counties to kind of get a handle on the data centers that are coming in. Maybe we can get a little bit of control of something on them.
This is a lengthy resolution
Yeah.
associated with these data centers. And what it is to encourage our state representatives, our state legislators, to at least involve the counties, because they're coming and they're coming quickly. and they're huge consumers of water and energy. And right now, we have little to no input. And so, Matt picked this up off of the listserv, I believe. Probably there's strength in numbers, or should be. So I think personally that we ought to get on board with this resolution.
I do too. Next one, we need to be hopefully finding something is on the battery storage facilities too.
Well, and this may talk to both of them in reality. I've read it, it's lengthy. I would suggest that we not read this thing and pass it, sign it, send it to the appropriate people, and file it for record and review by the public. Unless you guys feeling really energetic, want to read about a
No, I wasn't.
5-page
Yeah.
document here
No.
into the record. Judge?
No, I certainly don't want to. And as far as the batteries, facilities, I am told there's been no action yet as to creating those battery, what did you call them?
Battery storage facilities.
Battery storage facilities.
There's a more technical term, but the state needs to look into what, because they're very dangerous, and even the
Right.
fire departments don't want to fight the fires that come from them. They just said, they'll let it burn, and we've got houses around and pastures, and, it's just a bad deal.
I think
Well,
there's,
not to mention the groundwater, potential problems and things like that.
I don't think the battery facilities use any water or anything. It's
No,
just,
but it
they are
leaches.
dangerous.
There's a possibility of leaching into the groundwater supply.
I think there's probably 5 or 6 properties in Cooke County being looked at as we speak.
Fire.
So,
And the way it's set up right now, when and if they do start working on these areas or area, whatever it ends up being, there's no requirement at this time to come to court and explain any of it, or where, or location, or anything like that, which certainly doesn't make me happy either. I think that
It's the,
if they're going to consider doing this, they need to come tell us what they're doing.
and
It's
see,
the same
that's what
thing
this
as-
resolution addresses, is that
Exactly.
they say, hey, you gotta come and reach out to the county.
That's,
And-
that's exactly right. So,
to elaborate on that, any business, whether it's a gas station or a
Yep.
pig farm or a trailer manufacturer or a nudie bar, they don't have to come talk to us.
nudie bars don't?
Nope. Well, if they're not within so many feet of
How did you know that?
Yeah, well, it's just an example I give people.
Oh, I see.
I would make a motion that we approve the resolution and send it to the appropriate individuals in Austin.
I second that.
We have a motion, Commissioner Hollowell, that we, say that again, would you please?
Well, we approve, sign off on the resolution, and forward it to the appropriate contacts in Austin.
Okay, that we approve the resolution and forward it to the appropriate people in Austin. We have a second from Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none.
And
Thank
that-
you to
that will be
Commissioner
available
Sickens.
through the clerk's office too, as far as it'll be filed if somebody wants to review it.
Yeah.
And we might, could we put that on the website, Christian?
That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
We can.
I think, yeah.
Get it
Probably,
sent to
yeah,
the
probably worthwhile to put that on the website.
And thanks for Commissioner Sicking for chasing us down and sticking with it.
Actually, I'm gonna email it to you.
There's actually one of the proposed or suspected sites is there just south of Valley View. And I have some people who are watching to to see if there's ever any action as far as getting the battery station approved or started, getting construction started on that. So hopefully, maybe they'll change their mind and move on. Item number 50, did you get all that you needed on that, Pam? Passed 5-0. Item number 15, presentation by Texas Association of Counties regarding employee benefits.
You can hide no longer.
That's right. See, I introduced you earlier, so now you have to get up.
That's right.
We have to
That's
read
right.
something.
You can't get up and leave before your number gets up.
No, I wouldn't.
Someday we'll have it where y'all can do a PowerPoint presentation, you know, on the screen.
It's okay. I apologize for my printer. They got a little wonky.
Wonky.
Early, yeah, there was some random,
Is that a technical?
it's a technical term.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I'll see.
So, good morning, Court, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Rick Sean Collins. I'm the TAC, your Northeast Benefits Consultant, and the Cooke County Benefits Consultant as well. Michelle Gifford is with me today as well. She is the Wellness Consultant. We work closely together. So I want to go over basically with you guys an abbreviated version of our mid-year review. This is to let you know what Cooke County performance looks like through March 2026 for this year so far. Michelle later on is going to go over some of the targeted wellness strategies that we also provide to go along with the medical benefits as well. If you turn to page 3 for me, we have a lot of value within the TAC pool, in the health and employee benefits pool as a whole. The first thing is the size. We are approaching 50,000 members among our 230 plus groups. As you know, Texas has 254 counties. So we have a lot of groups, a lot of counties that are a part of the pool. Having said that, that helps with the pooling, where we're able to spread that risk amongst all the groups. So, for example, if Cooke County were to go out by themselves into the open market for benefits, you would get a higher rate than you would as if you were within the pool of 50,000 members. So that's where a lot of our pooling comes in. And then our partnerships. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas handles the medical insurance. Navitus is the prescription benefit. So we want to stay in good standing with both of those partners while we have the benefits that we are administering for all of our groups. And then the last thing is you have a hands-on account team. You have myself, Michelle, Kashe Hill, who is the benefits specialist. We don't mind coming directly to Cooke County for any benefits presentations, answering any questions that Judge, Commissioners, you guys may have, that Elizabeth may have, treasurer, auditors, people like that. Any questions they have, we are the team that can answer those questions. And if we can't answer them, we will find the answer for you guys. So that's really what we do as a whole to bring that value, not just to Cooke County, but to the pool overall. If we go over to page 4, please. Page 4 is going to give you a full snapshot, again, from April of last year to March 31 of this year. So if we look at your loss ratio to that far right, the last 12 months, the loss ratio for Cooke County is 107.9%, okay? Tax break even is usually around 94%. So Cooke County is just above that. Now we look at this over the course of 3 years.
Can I
Yes,
explain loss ratio to me?
Absolutely.
In your,
sorry about that. So loss ratio is going to be your total claims versus the contribution. That is how we come up with that number. So total contribution versus total claims, and we're going to look at that number in just a moment. So for the last 3 years, your loss ratio in Cooke County is 124.5%. So that could be some things like high cost claims that factor into that, emergency room visits, things like that. We're going to go into that in just a few moments as well. Overall, 258 employees is what Cooke County has with 133 dependents. So you have a total of 391 members as a whole within the membership of Cooke County. Now, if we look at this middle number, where it says total paid, that's just over $4.1 million through March 31st. That total pay is a combination of these medical and pharmacy numbers. So your medical is just over 3.3 million, and your pharmacy is about $832,000. The total contribution so far is just over $3.8 million. So that's how we come up with that loss ratio for the last 12 months and do the same for the last 36 months.
Is that number based on the 36?
The 124.5 is going to be based on the last 3 years, but this number in the middle is based on the last 12, yes.
Okay,
From
that's real
April-
numbers for the last 12.
Yes, April
okay.
of last year to March 31 of this year, yes. All right. If we can go to page 5, please. Page 5 shows 5 years worth of data. Now, as I mentioned, we do focus on the last 3 years of data, so I do want to focus on starting with 2024. So your medical pay was around 2.6 million for 2024. The pharmacy was just over $1 million for a total of $3.6 million. And then your total contributions came in at $3.2 million. So your loss ratio in 2024 was 110.8%, and your renewal rate was 9.9%. If we look at 2025, same thing, you got a 9.9% renewal. That loss ratio went up just a little bit to 129.2 for 2025. But as you look at the medical, 3.8 million in medical, 861,000 in pharmacy, 4.7 million total paid, and then 3.65 million in total contribution. So really good there. And then for 2026 so far, again, this goes through March of this year, you're at a 89.1% loss ratio, which is really good. Again, it's under that 94% break even that TAC usually looks at for breaking even with the contributions versus claims. And last year, Cooke County received a 10.7% review. Any questions on these particular numbers? All right. So on page 6, this goes over your demographic information versus your high-cost claims versus non-high-cost claims. TAC considers anything as a high-cost claim starting at $50,000 and above. So when we look at claims like that, we want to know what that's from. Could it be a chronic condition? Could it be ongoing care? What is that from? And we'll be able to break that down and do a deeper dive if you'd like. But if you look at this far left column, it does show the 65 plus demographic, $266,000 in claims versus $392,000 for the male demographic. Coming just in under that, the 55 to 65 demographic, $383,000 in claims for the female population and $564,000 for the male population. 0 for 45 to 65, 25 to 35, and 18 to 25, which is good. When we look at the dependents on the plan, those are dependents that are less than 18, all male demographic, 207,000 in claims there. One thing about dependents being on the plan, the younger they are, typically the more healthy they are, which is going to help drive some of that loss ratio down, which means they're going in for preventive care, their well screenings, things like that. So even though you have a 124.5 for the last 3 years and 107 currently, you still have time to get that down because a lot of parents will take their kids in for their physicals during the summer. So before your plan year ends, you can get some of that down. And for me, I would like to see, if you're at 107 right now, let's try to get that down between 5 and 10%. That's a good thing to look at. Start small and then work our way up from there. If we look at this bottom left circle where it says non-HCC, which is high cost claim, and HCC, which is high cost claim, you'll see that your high cost claims are at 47.2% and the non-high cost claims are at 52.8%. What I want to focus on here is the fact that your high cost claims, again, people may have chronic conditions that they're going in for, and those non-high cost claims are just like your basic things. Excuse me, maybe like a well visit, preventive care. A claim still gets filed for that even though preventive care costs $0. Maybe a sprain, something like that they've gone to have care for. Now this middle slide is in regards to all of the numbers that I just talked about up top with the age and male and female demographic. So it's really just reiterating the same information. All right. Now, the good thing on this next page is that Cooke County has a 5-tier benefit plan, which is really good to have. You are contributing 100% for your employer cost in this bottom left. But what I want to focus on again is the upper left, where for this current plan year, you got a 10.7% renewal. A surplus distribution hasn't been decided on as of yet by the TAC board. They make that decision. So for 2025, there was no surplus distribution, but you received a 9.9% renewal, as I talked about a little bit ago. And then 2024, you also got a 9.9% renewal rate, but there was a $17,671.76 surplus distribution. So with those funds, the county can do whatever they like with it. You can put it back into the pool, towards healthcare, wellness, things like that, or you can use it for whatever the county's needs are. So that is your money to do whatever you like. But again, the board hasn't decided on a distribution for 2026 as of yet.
How's the surplus distribution get generated?
How does it get generated?
Yeah, how's it get generated?
So that is going to be based on your longevity in the pool, how your claims look, things like that. So every group doesn't get a surplus distribution. They're basing it on the things I just mentioned, like the longevity, claims, things like that. So they have a criteria. Those are two of the criteria that I know that they look at.
But it's not performance related from the standpoint of we paid in too much money and that's something coming back.
Yeah, they would look at that as well. Yes. Sorry about that. Yeah, left that out. Yeah, so they look at contributions as well. So that all gets looked at. Yes, it does. As a whole, with your plan itself, you guys have an HRA plan, which is a really good plan to have. It's a $2,000 deductible with a $2,000 out-of-pocket maximum. So that's really good that you guys have this for your employees. When it comes to the pharmacy plan, $5 for tier 1, $20 for tier 2, and $35 for tier 3 with no deductible. So that's a really good plan to have, that they're able to use the HRA for pharmacy.
If we were to try to address some costs there, with the insurance, can they go get something like Good RX to supplement that?
So Good RX is essentially you would use one or the other, right? You're either going to use your pharmacy benefit or Good RX. Good RX is a good benefit to gauge how much the cost of medication actually is. But it would be one or the other. As you probably know, we went to a more broad network. So 4 pharmacies became out of network at the beginning of the plan year for you guys. That was CVS, Albertsons, United, and Kroger. So by eliminating those 4 pharmacies from the pool, it saved the pool overall $6 million because those 4 pharmacies have higher out-of-pocket costs for medications. So if you were to go on Good RX, back to the point, you would see CVS probably in one of the top 3 high-cost medications. So having insurance will help alleviate that cost because you're paying co-pays or you're paying for the actual cost of the medication depending on what the medication is.
I was just curious if we might save some money there and let them take advantage of Good RX.
Yeah, it's one or the other. So yeah, they won't run your insurance and use Good RX. You have to choose. Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to skip over page 8. That's just more demographic information. Just relates to your population and the age of who's on the actual plan, benefit plan. Let's turn over to page 9, though. Page 9, this is going to be reflective of your emergency versus non-emergency care. As we can see, if we look at this current is this plan year. Prior is the last plan year, and prior one is 2 years ago. So I want to start at the top with the current. So far this year, there have been 55 ER visits, $151,000, closer to $152,000 paid. 16 of those 55 visits were non-emergent. The non-emergent care is just over $57,000. The percentage for that non-emergent visit is 29.1%, and your non-emergency paid is 38.1%. Now, if you look at the previous year, this is something I really want you to focus on with the non-emergency. The number of visits has gone down, which means your percentage of non-emergency visits has gone down. It's gone down almost 11%. We want to see that. Okay, that means people are actually going to the emergency room for true emergencies. And then the non-emergency paid has gone down about 8%. So we want to see non-emergency go more toward your MD Live, which is your virtual visit. Use the 24/7 nurse line for triage. Go to urgent care, go to your primary care doctor. What we have seen with people, not just with insurance, but without insurance, is that people are going to the emergency room for primary care, and they're going for prescription refills, which is a big no, which drives the cost up. So if you can get to your primary care doctor or an urgent care or even MD Live, they can do some of those prescription refills for you. Even an urgent care can refer you to a primary care doctor if people do not have one. So this bottom graph is showing emergency 70%, 70.9%, closer to 71, and the non-emergency 29%. That's what we want to see. We're seeing people truly go to the emergency room for emergency care. You want things like true emergencies, like maybe a cardiac issue, traumatic injuries, motor vehicle accidents, things like that, true emergencies. Common colds, you want to go to MD Live, again, urgent care, things like that, primary care doctor, as long as you can hold off to do that. All right. So Michelle's going to talk about some of the wellness numbers and wellness programs that we have with TAC.
Good morning. How is everyone? Good. Okay. We will make this snappy. So this is page 10. There are page numbers. They're very light, but I was very happy that I figured out how to do that last night. So page 10 on the bottom. So this is going to talk to y'all about the top major diagnostic categories for y'all. So we're looking at MSK. Again, this is not something, I feel like I'm missing you over here. I got to move this around. She's like, no. MSK is something that we've been seeing across the TAC board. It's not just pertinent to Cooke County. So we're seeing this is one of the largest population cost drivers is MSK, which is musculoskeletal conditions. So it's your muscle, joint, and pain injuries. So folks that may be going to surgeries before going to a neurosty, for example, for conservative care. We're also looking at your second highest cost diagnostic driver would be digestive and skin conditions. There is moderate utilization, but less consistent cost impact. The next would be circulatory system. It's a lower volume, but it's typically a higher cost condition. So what these numbers indicate is a broad population impact and not just a few high cost individuals. So it's not just kind of like those one-offs that you may see every couple years, because you know medical trends do go up and down, but this is more of a consistent impact. Questions I can answer? No? Okay. All right, so then we're looking at some cost trends. Circulatory spend increased significantly during this current period, and digestive and your musculoskeletal injuries or payment remain steady contributions or contributors. It's a Monday, sorry. And I'm standing on my tippy toes so I can talk into this and see everyone. So costs are being driven by both high volume conditions, which is MSK, and high cost conditions, which is heart. All right. Preventive screenings, I am so pleased to see this. I'm sure Elizabeth is too, because y'all do have a county specific incentive that does promote employees, right, to go ahead and get their preventive exam for an HRA contribution. So it has improved significantly. So congratulations on what y'all have been doing. So we've been 30% prior year to 55%. So those folks who are enrolled on your medical plan, half of them are getting their preventive exam. So congratulations on that. We also saw a huge improvement for your dependents as well. So it went from 39% to 69%, your spouses. So, you know, you don't see that often. There is no incentive for the spouse, and so that your employees are promoting getting their spouse to get preventive care is a major win. So fantastic job. Dependents though remain low, as Rayshawn said though. Typically, and I'm one of those parents that will wait till June, July, August to get my kids to get their preventive exams. It's low, but I wouldn't be too concerned about that. So a takeaway from those numbers, strong progress in your preventive care, reflective in your county-specific incentive, and that just an opportunity remains with your dependent population. But otherwise, those numbers look fantastic. Wellness is about prevention, promoting preventive care, taking those preventive actions, and so we're definitely seeing that. And then the other part is your healthy county participation. So your numbers look really good. Y'all are doing a great job in promoting those programs that we have to your employees at no cost, little to no cost. Teledoc, which Rayshawn mentioned, oh no, you didn't mention that. Teledoc is your chronic disease management program, highly utilized. I will say this is one of the best numbers that I've seen within a county within this time frame. So you've got 43 individual users who are utilizing these free programs to the employees. It's for high blood pressure, hypertension, and type 2 diabetes. So those folks who have been diagnosed with either or both of those are getting the treatment and care that they need and really helping maintain those conditions, which we definitely want to keep that from getting any worse. Congratulations, MD Live is rebounding, so we're seeing an uptake in MD Live. That is what Rayshawn mentioned. MD Live is your telehealth medicine. So if it's a non-emergent case, if it's a pink eye, if it's a cold, if it's something simple that can be diagnosed easily, we're seeing folks take advantage of that, and that's a really great opportunity for your employees to not miss any work, and also for if their family members are on the medical plan as well to have that convenient care. And then Arosty increased, yay! So I think I talked about this last year, but Arosty is our preferred musculoskeletal pain and injury provider. And so those are the folks that work on people before they hit up those surgeons for some orthopedic surgeries. Okay, that's gonna cost us a lot more. That really is that conservative treatment care that we're trying to encourage employees to go to first rather than jumping into an orthopedist. So it's increased, which is fantastic as well. OMADA is a health weight management program. We're seeing some good engagement there as well. So engagement is strong, which is again a win for y'all, and it's showing through the efforts of y'all's team. But we need to get that a little bit more aligned with those chronic conditions, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Any questions about your top diagnostic conditions? No? So we've got MSK, we've got circulatory and digestive. Okay. All right, folks, so go ahead and go to page 11. And so here's our paid by chronic conditions. So now we're seeing that hypertension, so high blood pressure. Again, this is not just, oh gosh, Cooke County, you've got no, this is across the board. I mean, this is just United States in general. High blood pressure is driving cost. Coronary artery disease, or CAD, is also your next top chronic condition driver. Hyperlipidemia, which is high cholesterol. And then diabetes. So these all form a cardiometabolic cluster that can have a long-term impact. And I'll have a couple of suggestions on what we can do to kind of help get ahead of that as well, so that we can help drive those numbers down. All right, let's see. I'm keeping mindful of y'all's Monday time. So some high-cost conditions have decreased from the prior year, which is really good. So I do want to give that shout out that we are seeing a decrease in some areas. So the risk outlook, large number of members with chronic conditions, future cost escalation if we're not managing it proactively. Again, that's where your preventive care comes in and the programs that we have to offer and helping folks make behavior changes. But that takes time. That doesn't happen overnight. We realize that. So any questions about the information on slide 11? No? Okay, y'all, we're almost there. So now we're looking at your pharmacy spend for the past, that time period of April to March of this year. So this is another one that is very common is anti-diabetics. We've seen that across the United States, also Texas, and across our TAC pool as well. So that is one of y'all's highest top paid drug category. And then specialty drugs. We can't control y'all can't control the cost of specialty drugs. Those are just going to cost a lot of money. And so immunotherapy, dermatology, those are significant contributors to your pharmacy spend, okay? So those top medications, Ozempic, that's not a surprise. Skyrizi, if they have a commercial for it, that means that they can charge a lot of money for it. So I learned that a few years ago in my previous world. It's like, wow, there's so many commercials, and a broker had said, oh, that's because they have, it costs a lot of money. So Skyrizi, Jardiance, I've seen them in the magazines, those advertisements, and then Farxiga. So it's a mix of diabetes medications and specialty high-cost therapies. Again, we cannot control that. Just keep in mind that one thing we are doing through the pharmacy end is that if it is medically necessary, there is a prior authorization for the GLP-1s. So only for type 2 diabetes and not for weight loss. We did add Mounjaro. It is a little bit more cost effective. We're seeing the prices go down, so Mounjaro has been added to the pharmacy plan as well. Yay, look at this, negative 2.91%, that's awesome. So that is a decrease in your pharmacy trend, so that's fantastic. That's going to attribute to people going to right type of care, and I think also that reduction in a more narrow network for the pharmacy also. And then using GoodRx, yes, you had that question, Commissioner, about GoodRx. We had that conversation, I think, a couple of weeks ago at TAC, where can we go use GoodRx? Absolutely. If it's gonna save the plan some money, and it's gonna cost, it will cost the employee out of pocket, but typically it might be a little cheaper. Absolutely. If it's not hitting the claims, go for it. So that GoodRx is another really good option also. Your pharmacy costs are high but stabilizing. I hate that that's been recorded. Stabilizing, but it's not rapidly increasing. Questions? So it looks pretty good. The trend is going down. Hey, as long as we're seeing that trend go down, that's in the right direction. Okay, slide 13. Looking at preventive dental screenings. Numbers have gone down just a little bit, but again, I'm not too worried about that because folks may be waiting till the summertime to go to the dentist. You know what? As long as we're seeing above 20%, to me, that's a win as well. 50% would be fantastic if we can get half of your population on the dental plan to go get their annual visit. That would be great. But, keeping in mind chronic conditions, heart circulatory, which relates really greatly to your oral health. So that'd be even more something we could think of a promotion campaign for people to go to their dentist. I'm not sure what we could do specifically. That would be just one idea off the top of my head. But making that connection between oral health and heart health is an important connection. Okay, page 14. We are looking at our employee assistance program. I will say congratulations because this is the highest utilization percentage I have seen thus far, 2%. I know you think, gosh, 2% of my population is only, no, EAP is very underutilized. We don't know the answers to why. There could be stigma, mental health, people don't know what EAP is, can be utilized, what it's used for, but 2% is fantastic. Across the board is, like I said, very underutilized, but what we need to do is just work on keep promoting the utilization of EAP and what that can provide employees. No cost, full-time, part-time, does not matter if you're in the medical plan or not, it could be for anyone. So just keep spreading the good word, but again, that 2% is fantastic. Questions? No? Okay, we're moving right along here. Slide 15. So I'm excited about this one because this is going to only go up for everyone here. So your employee rewards, what this is that you will see on the bottom, it says total $9,000. So that is a give back to y'all. If you are engaging in wellness workshops, if we're hosting wellness events, if people are logging into WebMD One, which is your wellness portal, and hitting a certain level, you've got a county-specific incentive for 1+ year already. You can earn money back for the county. And that's what we give back as Healthy County. You know what? Y'all are doing the right stuff. You're keeping people engaged. And so y'all can earn up to $9,000 based on the number of people in your population. So Right now, we can see that numbers are tiny, but I have a feeling they're going to grow. And with the effort of Elizabeth and team, we are going to get those numbers to increase, especially that county-specific incentive. You earn a big chunk of your employee rewards by having that. And I can provide a breakdown of how to earn employer rewards. If y'all would like, I can send that to Elizabeth and she can share if you want to dive a little deeper on that. But just know that we can keep earning more money for the county to give back to your employees. Okay, so here's what y'all have been waiting for. I know this, anticipation, is the cost containment strategy. So what is Michelle's recommendations? Well, here we go. Got a couple of them, so a few of them actually. A ROSTI, and this is kind of building off of last year. So getting a ROSTI back into Cooke County, whether it be virtual, whether it be in person, getting people to know who a ROSTI is, what they do, and why they matter. And looking at MSK as a top diagnostic condition, let's get a ROSTI in front of your employees. They come out for no cost for lunch and learns, breakfast and learns, anything like that, and provide classes on how to help prevent further aches and pains and injuries so that folks go to a ROSTI first as opposed to primary care, and then they go to an orthopedist, and then they get MRI, and then the bills start racking up and costing the county more money. So let's see how this works, get people into a ROSTI and get a ROSTI in front of everyone. I'll work with Elizabeth in getting a ROSTI out. That's a very common cost containment strategy that we've been proposing. So a ROSTI is going to be very busy, but that's what we need to do. So I would say let's get a ROSTI back out here again. Chronic condition management, again, focusing on teledoc health. Just keep promoting. People, don't want to hear what they should do, but it's okay. We will keep reminding folks and encouraging them when that time hits them, like I need to do this. That's when it usually works. And so just having the promotions of teledoc health and no cost, that is another big strategy containment recommendation. Wellness workshops, that's one thing that I would love to pick up with y'all, is to come out and do some classes based on those top chronic conditions, stress management, heart health, nutrition, physical activity, things like that. And so we can work together on that as well. And then that county-specific incentive, keep pushing that, keep encouraging employees. It is not mandatory, but it's highly encouraged as a benefit, and it's a huge incentive that y'all offer. So it tells your employees, really, y'all invest in them and do care. So things that you're doing already, we can probably just keep pushing through that and get a ROSTI out in front of people especially. Any questions? No questions. I love that. Okay, I did my job. All right, I'm going to toss it back to Rayshawn, and then we'll wrap it up.
So just to finish up, I just want to go over a couple of things that were on the board's agenda. Michelle and I will both go over Healthy County and TAC updates, and then the renewal needs. So the board did meet on April 29th to go over renewal and set renewal allocations. The pool needed amount for the 2026-27 plan year will be 9.9%, but Cooke County's renewal rate is going to be 12.5%. So it is going up just a little bit. Part of that is due to the cost of care and inflation. So we've seen that across the board, and in the state of Texas, the cost of care is going up. Inflation has caused some of this, and this is the first year TAC has given out double-digit renewals in a very long time. So it's been quite a while since then. Also going on this week is the renewal webinar on Wednesday, the 13th. Everyone should have received an email invitation for that. But if you haven't, please let me know. I'll get with Kashay to get that invite to you. Excuse me. And then next Friday, May 22nd, the renewal packages are going to go out. So we're going to email all of those packages. That's going to have any plans in there, or your current plan, any alternative plans. They'll have the renewal rate in there as well. If you are looking to add like dental or vision, that's going to be in that live binder as well. And then June 26th is when the renewal is actually due back to TAC. If you could turn it in earlier, that'd be great, just so we can get everything processed for you for your October 1 date. And then finally, if you do have questions, like I mentioned, myself, Michelle, Kashay, we're your Northeast Benefits team with Cooke County and for the Northeast Territory. So if you do have questions, please reach out to us. Thank you. Yes.
So so I know that the renewal packet's gonna come out with like one option, where we reached out back in, when was that? Where we wanna see like some options.
Yeah, we can definitely add some options in there. I have to let them know by the end of the week, so I'll let them know today that we want to put options in there for Cooke County. I'll definitely do that.
Okay, yeah, we want to see options where, I don't know, I want to see some options where we put more skin in the game for the employees, where we play with the deductibles, or there might even be some self-insurement options, like, I mean, we need to see, because I do the math, we get hit 12.5%, we're not gonna have health insurance in a few years, like, and it's been trending that way every year. So, we were about to take it on the open market and go for a bid, but we came to y'all, we got all the warm and fuzzies, so I mean, we need to see some options.
Yes, definitely. I'll definitely make sure we have options available so that you guys can look at with that renewal that's going on the 22nd.
Even where we might have like 3 plans the employees can pick from, where, you know, they pick a lower plan, that extra money that they save, they'll have a lesser insurance, but the money that they save, they can use to insure their family, you know, other things, where we just have some options.
Absolutely. And we have a great team that will provide alternative options as well. So they look at all the numbers and the data. So they don't just look at the employees on the plan, they look at the dependents on the plan as well.
Okay.
So
Well, one of the complaints I have about the options that we've had in the last few years, it steers you to where we've been. They're not really options. It's like well, here's something else, but it sucks. Stay where you're at. And that's just as honest as I can be. I mean, I was pretty brutal honest in some emails that I sent out, and y'all came out and talked to us.
Gotcha. Yep, we'll definitely make sure we have that for you. Any other questions or concerns?
Not right now.
No? All right. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thank y'all for coming up.
Thank you.
Item number 15 is no action. Thank you very much, though, for your presentation. Yep. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 16, we will close at this time for executive closed session. We will convene into session at, if I can clear the court. Back into regular court at 12:35. Commissioner Hollowell.
We discussed several issues, but
Yeah.
we have one motion come out of it. I'd make the motion, the court authorize HR to offer the library director position to the candidate selected by the committee at the rate of $60,000 annually.
Second.
We have the first motion, Commissioner Hollowell, second, Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes 5-0.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? We have a motion, Commissioner Arndt. We have a second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in
Aye.
favor? Aye. Any opposed? There are none. We are concluded at 12:38.